All right, this is One Last Midnight. Welcome back to another episode of Astroneer. And so today we're going to look at the best soil collector. Now, look, best is a misnomer because best is whatever is best for you. But let's go ahead and take a look at several different configurations for collecting soil. I hope you guys enjoy. So you want to be a master of dirt. You want to collect soil. I don't know. Maybe you had issues when you were a kid. You like to roll around in the dirt and you just want to relive them here. I have no idea. But why would you even want soil? Well, because of the soil centrifuge. So let's look at a couple ways to gather soil. Now, this setup that I have right here is a large rover just filled with a bunch of canisters and a drill on front. Let's just call this the digger. I don't know. I don't have names for these things, but this is one option you can do to gather soil. Now, let's look at the pros and cons of this. Now, before I get into the pros and cons, I like to dig in the cave, mainly because I don't like big giant holes on the surface of my planet, but you could dig anywhere that there's dirt. Doesn't really matter. So let's look at some of the pros. You're going to fill up your canisters pretty darn quickly. You can see that I've already got one canister filled. All these canisters were empty to begin with. And as I continue to move, you'll see that this canister is filling up rather quickly. Getting yourself a ton of canisters filled with soil with this method is rather quick. Another one of the benefits of this setup is that as you're going over resources, you can see that resources are actually gathering as well. So this is a nice way not only to get soil, but also to get resources. Now, you need to keep in mind that when you're in the caves or on the surface, that the drill maintains level. So I like to initially come in with a alignment mod and level off the ground as much as humanly possible, and then make sure that I try to stay on that level ground. Otherwise, you're going to continue to keep deforming the terrain and sinking down lower and lower. This is going to be problematic because eventually you'll fall through and wind up killing yourself or something. So make sure that you level off the terrain before you get started, and pay attention to as you're drilling to make sure that you don't slope down from that initial angle. Another downside to this particular setup is that you're forced to be on the surface and you're not getting the items above you. So you notice that I'm only cutting in the radius of the drill and leaving this above layer, this roof layer above me. Now that could be good or bad. You know, it's nice to have kind of a little caverny kind of situation. You are flattening out the ground, so it makes you driving vehicles around in the cave in the future a little bit easier. But you do have this overhang that you're not going to easily be able to get rid of. Again, the drill, one of the negatives of the drill is that it's very easy to get off of your initial cutting plane and start changing the angle of your cut, which might not give you the result that you're looking for. Once you're satisfied and have all the soil you possibly want, go take it over to your soil centrifuge. Again, for me, this solution has two benefits. One, I'm smoothing off my cave level so that I could use it for future driving. And then two, I'm gathering soil and resources pretty quickly. And like I said, once you're done, take the soil canisters off and place it on your soil centrifuge for ready for use. Now, again, the big bonus here is that you're filling up canisters full of soil. 2 canisters fill up the soil centrifuge. The downside of this is that you're going to have to turn around and build these canisters. So you're looking at a lot of resin to start building canisters to fill up this particular setup. That's not bad. I mean, it's not hard. It's just an inconvenience. If this is the way you like to do it, then that's great, because for storage wise, a bonus is that these canisters are easier to store, right? Instead of having pallets full of resources, I'm having just pallets full of storage canisters, which I could then turn around and use again. And when I'm done with it, I could actually wind up getting rid of those canisters into the scrap and creating scrap from them. This is one way to perform some sort of soil digging. Now, another option would be a soil centrifuge digging storage configuration, something like this, where you've got that soil centrifuge on here and you've got the digger on here. And I also have some additional canisters on here. Okay, let's go ahead and see how this works. Now, the major difference with this option as opposed to the first option is that you have actually the soil centrifuge with you. So as you can see, the soil centrifuge fills first. So it's easy to start collecting dirt directly into the soil centrifuge. And then once the soil centrifuge is done, you can see you'll start filling up the canisters. So this option gives you a mobile resource builder on the fly. Now, there's, some arguments to be made. Why would I want to carry around raw resources as opposed to just canisters? It depends on how many steps that you want to do. Do you want to make the canisters? Do you want to just run the soil centrifuge? It's totally up to you. It's completely how you want to play the game. Again, you're only cutting with the radius of the drill. You're not getting the roof in this particular setup, but it's a nice option to not only have the canisters, but also have the soil centrifuge with you. When your canisters are full or you're ready to make some resources, you could just turn around and run the soil centrifuge. When it's done offloading, the canisters will refill the soil centrifuge for another round. Just like with the drill single canister option, since you have storage on your vehicle, if you're running over resources, you will pick them up and they will be stored. This is a nice little combination if you have a team, you're playing multiplayer, and somebody happens to be working with you in the caves or on the surface. They can easily hit that soil centrifuge and start it, get the resources, offload it to somebody else, and continue on with the process of creating resources and getting soil at the same time. The next configuration that's kind of fun to play with is a soil centrifuge crane drill combination where you have the drill head on the front and on the crane. And let's go ahead and look at how this works. Now, one of the things I don't like about this setup is where the seat is located. And because where the seat is located, I'm not really getting forward light that much. I have a work light on my backpack, and that's the only thing that's giving me that forward light or that light in front of the vehicle. Otherwise, it would be dark in front of the vehicle. If you can overcome this situation, this is actually a pretty good configuration. Not only does this give you the benefit of the forward drilling and filling up your soil centrifuge, I like to have a couple extra canisters here and also some canisters on the backside for overflow. But you also get that added mobility to be able to drill over your head just by jumping in the crane and starting the drill process in the crane. Not only are you collecting soil, but you're also collecting resources as well and clearing off that top roof part of your head so that you don't have to worry about feeling claustrophobic. This is another combination that's really great for a two-man crew where you can have one person running the crane, and when they're done, they can jump out, run the soil centrifuge, and also continue to move forward. Regardless of the configuration you choose, getting soil is easy in Astroneer. It's more about how you want to set up your experience. Do you want to be able to just get pure soil? Do you want to have a combination of an extractor or multiple, even multiple extractors? It's completely up to you. All right, so that was my video on soil collection. Like I said, best is whatever is best for you. But we looked at several options and how you can go about getting a lot of soil quickly. I hope you guys learned something from the video. If you haven't already, put a like, leave comments in the comment section below. If you're not a subscriber to the community, I just got to ask why. We have incredible people here in the community. And if you want to follow me on my social media, you can find links in the description below. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.